Hi, good evening or good morning, wherever everybody is from. My name is Gabriel. I'm the founder of Score Campus. I'm one of those people, one of the many people who tried to put this team together. And Education Superheroes is born because of not hard work, but really hard work. And there are a lot of things that we want to do. A lot of changes that we want to make. We feel that the education industry as a whole has become a little unstable, especially during the pandemic. Even though everybody's working extremely hard and trying to figure out whatever we are trying to figure out, I think together as a team, we can figure it out together. And that is how it was given birth to. There are a lot of things that we want to do together. There are projects that we want to work on together. And we are excited. Today, we seem to have quite a number of people here. So what we are going to do is we're not going to do too much of an introduction. We're going to keep it extremely simple. What you're going to say is your name, what you do, where you're from. That's it. Very quickly, your name, what you do, where you're from. 3 things. Your name, what you do, where you're from. Okay, so we're going to start. I think everybody's looking at a different screen. So just raise your hands up and then go for it. And then I'll just point at anybody who raises their hands up first, okay? So we'll start with, I'll point the first person out. And if you can, please turn on your cameras because we really want to see a beautiful face. We'll start with Kathy.
Well, hello everyone, and I'm Dr. Catherine Murray, and I'm from Australia, and I'm a consultant in education. And the most important thing that I want to share with you, though, is I want to congratulate Gabriel and Ira for having a beautiful little baby, Ryan. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next one would be Isabel.
I teach languages and I'm in Mumbai. Yes. Hello.
Okay, next person would be Dave.
Hi everyone, my name is Dave from Score Campus.
Okay, now Abdullah Al Habib. Oh, you're still doing it, is it? My bad, I thought you were done. Go for it.
Hello everyone, myself Abdullah. I'm from Bangladesh, undergrad student of political science.
Okay, and then I see Katerina.
Hello everyone, I'm a passionate educator and a mom.
Oh, wow. We have Azura.
Hi, I'm Azura from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm the head of early childhood program from Veritas University College.
Okay, we have Faith Dixon.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Faith. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a language teacher.
Very cool. And then we have Nancy Ekpezu. I hope I got your name right. Mute.
You're muted.
Oh, you pronounced my name excellently. I'm Nancy Ekpezu. I've been a school administrator in 4 schools, and I currently left to start my consulting business. So I'm an education consultant, especially for managers and administrators. And I'm pleased to be here.
Very cool. We will have Alec Per next.
Yes, I am Alec Per. I'm a general manager in Azerbaijan British College, Baku, Azerbaijan.
Very nice. And we have Haish. Hi, Shurya.
Hi, my name is Haish. I'm part of the Score Campus team in Singapore.
Okay, we have Fred Chimeze.
Yes, I am Fred Chimeze from Nigeria. I'm a mathematics teacher.
Very nice. We have Weifeng Cheng. Are you there, Weifeng?
Hi, everybody. But my camera is not really working. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From KL, I'm a language teacher.
Okay, and we have LB. A lot of language teachers here. LB.
Hi there, I'm Lisa. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I am currently working in child protection, but have worked in the school system as well with children who have difficulties, and I have a master's of education in primary school.
Okay, we have Kabore. Okay, we'll give them 5 seconds to respond. Okay, Shatarupa Data. We'll give another 5 seconds to respond. Okay, we'll move on to Gerard. Gerard, can you say hello?
Hello, good evening from Manila, Philippines. I'm Gerard. I'm a part of the International Baccalaureate team in our school, and I'm glad to be here.
Very nice. And the last one will be Uma. I think I've covered everything.
Hello.
Uma?
Hi, everyone from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Yeah.
I am the subject head for computer science and mathematics for A levels. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. And one more, Ira. Ira, can you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Ira. I'm not turning on my camera because my baby's with me. New mom, very excited, and thanks, Kathy. So excited to meet all of you here.
Okay, maybe when Ryan wakes up, you can ask him to join us. And with that, we will get started. And the flow of the entire evening is a very, very simple one. Right after this introduction is over, we will do what you call distress calls. Okay, so during the distress calls, based on the topic, does anybody know what the topic of the day is? Any hands up? Anybody knows what the topic of the day is?
What is the true goal of education?
Oh, fantastic. She gets a prize, which is a round of applause. Okay. And what is the true goal of education? So when we go into distress calls, which Robert will be leading, he'll be getting started with the distress calls after he introduces himself. And then when we go into the distress calls, please do not make it about, let's not talk about the problems way too much. Let's seriously start thinking about what are the solutions that we can practice tomorrow when we enter school. That's really what the distress call is about. A lot of times when we say distress calls, we start talking about the problems again and again, and the entire 7 minutes gets used up. Yeah, so we'll be very clear. We'll be giving everybody 30 seconds. You've got to come up with solutions. I think we can do this. I think we should try this. So something extremely positive. Okay, so that is the distress call. And after that, our guest of the day, whom I did not introduce, I've not introduced two people, Robert and Musa, because the time for them is a little later. And so after Robert does that and we take the distress call, Musa will be invited and he's the guest and we are going to be learning from him. And after that is open Q&A. You can bombard Musa with whatever questions you may have. And the best question of the day that stumps Musa will get another prize, which is another virtual hug from everybody, right? And then let's have fun as well. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it very, very positive. So with that, I would like to invite Robert, who I have known virtually only. To be very honest, I've never met him face to face, even though we possibly were miles from each other in Chennai. I'm not very sure. But Robert has been doing a lot of work in education. His experience is something I can only hope to achieve in my life. You know, and a person who has run many schools, has worked with thousands of students, worked in many countries. So when you talk about a global citizen of education, you're looking at one. And I look forward to hearing from him the questions that he may have for Musa. And also I would like for him to share about his journey in education as well. So without further ado, I invite Mr. Robert Thorn.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Lovely to be here. And Gabriel, you packed in so much experience in your lifetime. It leaves me to shame, right? So anyway, so my name is Robert Thorn. Originally, very, very long time ago, more than half my life ago, I was British. And since then, I've been all over the place. I ended up being a school principal. And now I'm a former school principal, and I'm working with one of the big Indian networks to help work on their new national education policy, the training of that, plus some other projects in Pakistan, in Iran, and some other places. So that's enough about me. Now this question, it was really interesting. It's actually a distress call question from last week. And last week, Musa, who you'll hear from a little bit later on, put down like one of the things that we're having a problem. What do parents say? You know, the funny things that parents say was the thing for last week. And what we did was Musa said, well, one of the problems that we don't know, parents, students, and teachers and principals don't all have the same vision of why we're going to school and what school is for. And so, yeah, he just put down the point of education. And, you know, that's actually one of my pet topics. And I know from my studies that having the point of education, having a shared vision in your school is really key to many things. And if everybody knows why they're at school and what they're doing there, then many of the problems that we have facing in schools go away. Now, in the breakout room, the first question, sorry, I'm going to guide this a little bit for the first one, because the title is, what is the goal of education? And so that's going to be our first breakout room. That's going to be our first distress call. Sorry, Gabrielle. Okay, and what I want you to think not what is the point of your school now, what is the goal of education in your school now, but what should it be, right? So we're going to go for what should the point of education be? Okay, what should the goal of education be? And that will be the first breakout room. Okay, now what I normally do is I ask that question and then people answer, and I can usually put their answers into two categories, and we'll see if you come out with answers that come out or questions or distress calls that come out with those things. Okay, so what you have to do is you'll be put into breakout rooms in a minute. Haish will appoint a person to make sure that somebody doesn't talk too much or somebody doesn't talk too little. Okay, you don't have a lot of time, so think about it. What should be the point of education? What are we aiming for? What would you like it to be? Okay, and then we'll collect your answers. You can write your answers down on the side there. That would be very helpful in the little chat room. That would be very helpful because then it gives us a little bit of thinking time. But then we'll get you coming back as well.
Did perfectly.
Oh yeah. You can have a group hug when we've left.
Hey, we do have a few new people as well. So those who are new, you can give us like a quick one-liner or two-liners about yourself.
Yes,
do you have time for that?
Nora, do you have a quick introduction?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, couldn't turn on my video. My kids are right behind it. They're making a huge mess. Hi, I'm Nora. I'm from Singapore, but I am currently teaching in Jakarta, and I've been here for 11 years. Yeah, so it's nice to meet everyone.
Nice.
Great, welcome.
Okay, and we have Andre.
Oh, sorry, Andre. Where's Andre?
Hello, Andre, nice to meet you. I'm from the Czech Republic, and we are an NGO. We are educating people, mostly women and children, in IT and digital skills for 7 years now. And we are now in discussions with the ministries about the future of education as well. So that's why I joined this group.
Very nice.
Dobry den, witamy was.
Hello.
Jay is a new name, I would think. Jay?
I believe that Jay is driving right now.
Jay is driving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he's contributed to our group just through the chat.
Okay. So what's next, Haish and Robert?
Haish, you have to help me here because you know the groups. So perhaps you could ask someone from each group to just give us a heads up. Maybe somebody could write in there.
Our group leader is Fred.
Okay, Fred, what was the outcome of your group? Did you have an outcome? Fred, are you there?
Okay, Fred can't hear us.
Okay. Someone from Fred's group?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Are you Fred?
Oh, that's
Faith.
Faith.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No problem. Okay, can you tell us the main point of your group? Fred needs to unmute.
So
go ahead.
Sorry, I'm on transit, so I honestly do not want to on my video for now until I'm a bit stable.
No problem.
Okay.
What's the goal of education?
Okay, so what we came up with was the goal of education should be a total transformation of the individual person. So it shouldn't just be transformation academically, but the whole person should be transformed. So there should be a total person. At the end of the education, the person should be transformed totally, not just academically. So that was the result of discussion.
Okay. All right. Hesh, who's the next group?
Okay, so for the next one, we'll be talking about
the next group.
Hello.
Abdullah, yes, let's go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
I'm sorry
okay.
that I cannot open my camera.
We
We have discussed about the goal of education. We have found out or pointed out 4 goals. 4 are mechanisms that actually ended up bringing betterment in the human life. The first thing that bringing a good sense, a good spirit of ethical and moral improvement of a human self. I mean, this should be the basic and first goal of education, we believe. That is, you need to know that even if you are in a bad position, still you need to take always honest and true decisions, even if that actually ended up some negative impacts on you, because honesty is something that actually can bring the ultimate good for the society. So make oneself learning about a moral and ethical ground. That is the first goal. And the second point of our group, that is learning make humans learn about the technical skills, that so that human can earn money at the end of the day, because we need money to buy food, we need money to buy clothes. We actually need money because it actually can solve the basic necessity of our individual's life. Because if you are a computer engineer, at the end of the day, you have learned the coding or some computer skills throughout your education. So second goal of education should be bring some technical skills that actually need to be being a professional in the career round. And the third goal that we have found, that is make humans socialized. I mean, socialization, how the etiquettes and manners of the society should be, is the third goal of education, we believe. And the fourth one is bringing the level playing field in the society. I mean, in society there are so ups and downs among the humans, or not all people are prioritized always. Some people come from the minority. So education has to ensure the level playing field in every sort of side. People need to learn how we can ensure the level playing field. And the final, we believe another thing along with that is education need to learn us when something unjustified happen in our society, we need to raise voice against that. I mean, if some people has if a criminal, but not really a criminal, but people actually the court told him to be sentenced him to be death, so death penalty. So it's not a justified thing. I mean, these types of unjustified stuffs in the society happens. We need to stop them, and the education should learn the people that you have to have raised voice when the unjustified things happen around your society. That's are some goals of education we sorted out. Thank you.
Okay, that's wonderful, great, lovely. I really like those. Fred, you're back with us. Can you say something about your group? What? Or are we repeating the group because Faith was in?
Okay, we will not be repeating the group, so it's a new reshuffle, but the ICs of the in charge of the group stays. So what we can do now is we can move on to the.
No. Okay, well, just let's get some more feedback from people on the point of school. So another leader, another group leader, or someone from a group that hasn't spoken yet. Do we have another group that didn't speak?
Fred, do you want to go for this?
Okay.
Yeah, Fred.
All right. I think education, the true goal of education should be to raise a responsible citizen of the society. You know, there's a saying that if you want the projection of a country, where a country will be in the next 20 years, go and check its curriculum. So I believe education shouldn't be all about giving us career like being a medical doctor, an engineer, a lawyer. Education should be to guide, to train us in order for us to adapt in the society, for us to be human in the society, for the child that you are educating to grow and be a responsible citizen of the society, for the child to integrate, for the child to have empathy, for emotional intelligence, for the child to know what is wrong and what is right. So I think the main goal of education. After this, other points should come, like being a medical doctor, being an engineer, being a scientist. All those things are all good. But I believe the main goal is to raise a responsible citizen of the society.
Wonderful.
That's my take.
That's great, Fred. Thank you very much. Now, I just got a note from the boss that we need to hurry up and go to the next breakout room. Now, we've got a range of answers there. I've asked this question to kids, to teachers, to parents around the world, and I collect a lot of answers just as we have today. So here's the challenge, just to make this simple. The kids that I did it with in the biggest group came out with two things. Number one was happiness. They want to be happy in their life. Number two, they want to be successful in their life, okay? Now, to be happy, I think you can't really, they understood that to be happy, you need to be ethical, like you're saying. Like you're not going to be really deep down happy if there's people miserable on the street. Okay, like you might be, but that's not what they meant. Okay, so they meant happiness in that sense, that they're engaged in constructive things that give them a good feeling, you know, and usually they're doing it with other people. Okay, and success was being happy most of the time. But they said, but we do want to earn some money though, so we can buy our toys and things like that. All right. So, and I loved I think it was Abdullah, and you said about the activism, and that's right. If you see something wrong, you're not happy with that, so you're going to go out and do something. And being a good learner, you can actually go out and do those things, you know. So so school should help you to be successful, but successful in a very good quality way. Successful might be you don't earn money, but you're happy with your life, and that's successful. Right? So that's what they meant. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to break up in the next room, and what I would like you to do is work out what are the things, the characteristics that would help people to be successful and happy in life. Okay. So what are the characteristics? I'll give you one. Okay, because somebody said it. It was collaboration. Working together with other people. We have to learn to work together with other people in a good way. So that would be one. I would call that collaboration. Okay. So what other things like that do you think that young people need to be successful and happy in life in that very good way? I don't mean grabbing, competing successful. I mean that successful in that them and all around them are happy. Okay. Breakout room number 2.
Okay, so how did the rest of you find the discussion? I know it was a little short because you're running out of time, but I hope you guys managed to discuss enough.
Yes, well, I got to a bit of what everyone was saying at some point. So it was really interesting to find out what to make everybody, children happy in school. So it's good input from everyone so far.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get more as we progress.
Good. Welcome back, everybody. And the next session will include your homework as well, okay? So get ready for that. So we had, let's hear from some people first. Haish, would you like to pick, maybe, can you pick some groups that didn't get to say something last time, perhaps?
Okay, so
or were they all different? They were all different, weren't
yeah,
they?
it's reshuffled. So everybody is like in a different group right now.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Who? Pick
Okay, can we
somebody.
get Akpan, Mrs. Akpan?
Okay.
Okay, so what do you think are important for young people to be happy or successful?
I think that it's important that we're able to make young people the best version of themselves, giving them a variety of opportunities to improve whatever it is they're interested in. In education, we know that we have all different skills and abilities, and we want to see children thrive in whatever their interest is. So that makes them really happy. I'll just give a very good example of an experience I had at some point when I had children who were underachieving at some point a few years back. And one of the things that brought them out and gave them the satisfaction they had was when their skills were being celebrated. So it was a point where we understood that we had to celebrate every individual according to the competence that they had. So that's a very good, that was a very good experience there. It's important that we understand that we are not all the same, but we need to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to thrive in whatever interest that they have. That makes children really happy.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, Mrs. Akpan. I would think that what you would, no, let's just leave it like that. That's great. I think getting the best out of yourself is a thing. And if you're in a group, getting the best out of others as well. So yeah, that's great, wonderful. Okay, let's have another group. Haish, who should we pick? Okay, wait a minute. While you think of that, I'm going to say from our group, because our group didn't say anything last time. So, so we had some very good points. Leadership, and I was just about Akper, he was saying about that. And leadership is a thing. I don't think you're born with it. You can develop it, and leadership of your family, leadership of yourself is included in that. Okay, collaboration. We said to be educated. So to know, you do need to know some things. I think in the other group, Isabel was saying, like in the IB, they don't look at content so much, but you do need to know some things. Confidence. Andre was saying about confidence, being adaptable. Abdullah was saying about expectations, understanding yourself, so that you can understand how your expectations in life change, so that you can, so knowing yourself is a very old attribute that was identified a long time ago. Knowing where to go to for support. I think that was a lovely one from Andre. Like we can't always manage ourselves. So we do need to know where and when to go for support. So that's really good. And critical thinking, I think, is one that you see everywhere. So that was ours. Okay, Haish, have we got somebody else?
Yeah, I think we need to introduce our guest speaker for tonight, because
oh, are we running out of time?
You're running out of
okay.
time.
All right. Okay, can I just say something then? So what we did was we identified the goal of education. I challenge you to think that if there's anything outside having a happy and successful life for everybody, all right? If you have a reason that doesn't fit into that, then let me know. That would be interesting. And then those things, and I think any of you who've been in the IB will know about the learner attributes. So there's attributes, there's characteristics that you need to be successful and happy in life. Your homework is this. In your school, number one, what are you doing already to develop those attributes, those characteristics? And can you do that? So can you do that in your daily teaching, in the way that you teach? Could you develop those things in the way that you teach? And number two, what could you change? What simple little things could you change about the way you do things to help to give more opportunity to develop those attributes, those characters? That's your homework, right? So over to Haish, and now let's meet our guest. Thank you.
Okay, so we have got our guest for tonight, who is Musa. Okay, so I will let Musa tell you a bit more about himself, and then he can start sharing his experience. Okay, right after Musa shares, we will have an open Q&A. So you are free to ask Musa questions, you're free to ask Robert questions, you're free to ask anyone else your questions also, but do try and direct it to the both of them. Okay, Musa.
All right, hi, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's been really a lovely session, and I have so much joy just hearing from everyone. You know, your views and your voice, and you know, it's so important because these days, you know, educators are so stressed out with the pandemic, and you know, we are all at home. You know, we can't do what we love to do, which is really to interact and be with the children, right? So I actually proposed that question the last, I think 2 weeks ago, about the goal of education. It's really because like what Robert said, all of us have a misalignment in terms of what we think education is. Some parents feel that education is about scoring high grades, going to good schools, good university. Students, you know, when they're thinking about education, think about being with their friends, enjoying their time, you know, having that moment in life where they can really be themselves. And for teachers, you know, we talk about character education, giving them the skills, giving them the all the attributes that they should have to succeed in life, right? So there seems to be that misalignment. But at the end of the day, I think what I feel personally as an educator is that all of us should put in the effort, right? Put in effort to understand each other, right? What the administrator would think that education is, what the parents hoped, you know, for their children, their aspiration for their children, and also to listen and hear what the students actually want out of education, right? So number one, to be a good listener. Number two is really to help students, because at the end of the day, as educators, our job is really to help students in every way possible, to give them support in every way possible. I know some of my students, they're not the brightest, you know, in the class, but nevertheless, I've seen them you know, do things that just amaze you on a day-to-day basis. They help their friends, they're very kind to one another, right? They're so supportive of one another, and you will never think that with their academics only they will probably succeed in society. But you look at their attributes, their character, that is just so amazing, right? So one of the things that I've learned as an educator is to never judge the book by its cover. Just because a student don't do well in school doesn't mean that he or she is not useful or cannot succeed in life. So really, I think as an educator, that really helps me to transform my view of what education is, and to really focus into every single student and what they need, and to give them support in what they need. And if we can do that as an educator, to support our children, give them the best experience, I would say an experience, not just academic, but the overall experience of education, I think that is the best service we can do to them and for the future of humanity. So yeah, so that is really what I feel, and I hope that today's session we can all have the same that vision to really give that extremely important experience for our children. All right, so that once they go out to society, they really appreciate their time in school. They really appreciate the lessons, the moments, and you know, the interaction with adults and with their friends, and something that they can bring forth and teach the next generation of humanity. Yeah, so that's really it from me. I'm open for any question, maybe if you have anything you'd like to ask me about my views, or yeah, we can have some discussion as well.
I've got a question, maybe for Musa or maybe for anyone on. I was just chatting on this topic with my group just now, and it can be a right answer, it can be a wrong answer as well. So you make your own decision. So if a student come up to you and say that for me, I determine success by the type of car you drive, the house you live in, and how much you earn per month. Is that a wrong or right answer?
Okay, so the student value, I mean, in general, the material things in life, right, as a sign of success. It is not wrong in the sense that because in whichever society they are, that could be the expectation, right? That could be what the society deem as successful. But I think as educators, we do have to go a bit deeper to say, okay, so having a nice car, having a nice house, having a lot of money, is that your true reason why you're here? Is that really the end goal in life? Is that what makes you really happy? If at a particular point in time they say yeah, probably, okay, then probably that's good for short term. What happens if all these things are taken away from you? You know, your car's taken away from you, money's taken away from you, you don't have all these things anymore. Can you still be happy? Are you still going to be happy with yourself just because you don't have those things? So I like to engage in such a discussion to let them think deeper. Is those things really the key to their happiness and is it the true definition of success at the end of the day? Because something that we consider successful should be permanent. It shouldn't be temporal, right? So I think that is something that I would reinforce with my children and really get them to think really deeply. Yeah. So that's a fantastic question.
Can I bring in something that Fred has said? And I think that's really great thing. Fred, you've hit it right on the nail on the head. Fred, you're saying something about, isn't that wisdom? To a little while back we were talking about. And I think you're right. We're trying to get the kids off on the path to wisdom. I mean, they're already on the path to wisdom without us. I mean, Musa and I were sort of saying how, before this, we were saying how we weren't all that good at school. But, you know, we're still, I think, pretty successful people, and we're doing well, and we're helping loads of people. So Fred, I think you've got it right on the head. And people have got this idea of wisdom, though there's some old person who's wise and sits there and says things. But if you add the word active, so active wisdom, so you make the right decisions in life to the best of your ability. You know yourself and you know others and how things work. And also another thing, we call heart-minded. I call heart-minded. It's like getting to the heart of the matter, yeah? Not letting things go, not letting things fester, you know? So I think that wisdom part is wonderful. You can have all the cars and things, and even if your cars are not taken away from you, all right, you can still be miserable with all those cars if you and your wife can't get on. So, there you go.
True.
So, can I just chip in as well? What I try to help my children understand, or the students understand, is that what is important in life is to be able to impact yourself positively and somebody else. So what's the opportunities that school gives to you is to empower you to be able to do that in whatever field that you think it's possible, or whatever interest that they want to engage in. So it's important that they understand that in whatever thing they want to do and to be successful, they have to make an impact, positive impact in the lives of others, themselves as well. So that's one thing I try to push it with the children.
Mm-hmm. That's jolly good. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Come on, let's have some more ideas then, some questions from people.
Actually, one really interesting thing I realized from what Musa and what Mrs. Akpam said, right, was because I have this one friend who also used to define success as the kind of car that he drives, the amount of money that he earns and all that. And when we were talking deeper, one thing he pointed out was that the reason why he defines those things as his sort of symbols of success was because he felt that he would only be able to influence people if he reaches such a point. So him having like maybe a Merc or BMW is the mode of how, I mean, it's his mode of inspiring someone else. So it's not particularly the material goods themselves, but them being a channel, or them creating the opportunity for him to inspire.
Yeah.
So I
we're going to have
a lot of things that are deeper when it comes to someone who is defining like maybe grades or cars or wealth as success. I think there's I do believe that there's an underlying reason for why these things are important to them. And not
We're
just
going to have rich people, whatever happens, and we just have to try and make sure that they are nice, wise, rich people.
Yeah.
And they have ethics, as Abdullah brought up. Yeah, that's right. Good. Right.
Okay, anyone else has any other questions? It's your time to fire, so just go ahead.
Yep. Okay. The talkings happened about wisdom is realizing yourself. I mean, know thyself that Socrates has told. Realize the society truly. So my question is how to get better about the fact of being a person with wisdom.
How to be I think it's at the end of the day, I think wisdom is something that that springs out of understanding the true matter of things, right? A lot of times we deal with superficial level of understanding, and therefore we cannot go into deeper about wisdom. So for example, when my student says sir, I need to do well for exams because my mom expect me to do so. And I ask them, is that really the true reason why you want to do well, or is it something you want to do for yourself, right? So what we can do as educators is really to probe them deeper into things, because sometimes they do things superficially because, oh, my mom asked me to do this, my dad asked me to do this, but they don't do it for themselves, right? And that is one of the things that we have to do. We have to really engage with our children, speak to them, ask them a lot of why questions. And what's interesting is that children actually learn a lot when you ask them why, because they have a lot of reasons to give you, and then help them to understand themselves through their answers. I think that is one way you can help develop wisdom among the children. And believe me that children, even at very young age, can be wise. You just have to give them the voice, give them the opportunity to share what they say, and really engage them on a one-on-one basis. And it's my hope that all of you can help all your children find wisdom at the end of the day. Yeah.
I think it's about making the right decisions and gaining as much experience as you can and understanding that experience, because of course experiences can turn you sour, experiences can take you away from being wise. So it really is that sort of ability to reflect, ability to be, and that balance between open-mindedness and being principled. So you're open-minded to explore and understand other people perhaps, but you have your principles, and the two things define each other as you go through your life. Questioning what you believe, questioning what your culture, questioning everything, so that it's really robust and you know why you believe what you believe, and your culture is what it is. Yeah, and nobody should be afraid of that, I think. So yeah, great question.
Could I just add a few points to this? I guess there is some wisdom in teaching and showing, maybe more showing children how to let things go, and how to try to understand people without arguing and without judging. And also, Musa, you touched such a painful topic when we are trying to show children that this is not why you are doing it. You are doing it for your parents. But on the other hand, children are trying to also to think of their parents' feelings. So, and there is a very interesting question in the chat from Fred. How do we educate parents on this topic? So whatever we do with our learners is with a huge impact. Yes, we explain them that they have to be driven by their own choice, but there is this side of parents, and children don't always follow because they want to follow, maybe they want just to make their parents happy, just the same way like parents want to make them happy, but they don't really realize that how they make it, it's not really correct, it's not really what the world now needs. So this is a very interesting and very like there are no correct answers, there are no wrong answers. We should really we should really respect all opinions, and we should also take into consideration different maybe contexts in how we approach wisdom, in how we approach this, even the true goal of education.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. The engagement with parents really would help with the helping the children as well as helping the community, right? Because education is not really just about just the child itself. There are different stakeholders. You have the administration, the teachers, the parents, and yeah, engaging all these communities and stakeholders is really, really important at the end of the day. To really let them know what is your heartbeat as an educator, right? Because yeah, of course we all are in the school, we have our fixed values and system, but within your direct community, that means your students and parents that interact with you on a daily basis, let them know who you are, let them know what you stand for, let them know what you want to help their child achieve. I think that is really important. And when they can see that from you, and they can really appreciate it from you, I think for you as an educator, it will be much easier, right, to have their trust and to really guide their children. So yeah, so engagement of the parents, very important. I totally agree.
Can I share something? I mean, like the engagement between teachers and parents are really important, because we are working on the same human. I mean, like for the same person. Okay, so the partnering between teachers and parents are really, really, to me, it's really important. Not for us to only educate the parents, but I guess that we as teachers also need to ask the parents, because they know the child better. So we need to ask that, how can I be a great teacher for your kids? Because they know their kids better. So I guess that should be the way. I mean, like partnering in teachers and parents partnership is really important. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. Okay, I think we have time for one last question. Oh, Mr. J.
Hi. Sorry, this is Jay. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck in traffic. Just driving. If you have everything in Jakarta, you know that it's it takes very long to reach home every day. With referring to Musa's comment and the previous friends also comments, I would like to create a little connection in between the happiness, success, and the values that we are trying to give to the kids, right? Like at the end of the day, as an educator, our goal is to create a better future for these students, and so the students can give back to society and make something better than what we have nowadays. I feel like it's a very exciting moment to be teaching nowadays in anywhere that we are. We have the access to technology. We can talk to people thousands of kilometers away and share our knowledge and actually create wisdom out of this and give it back to our students. But at the same time, I think it's very challenging in many different aspects. I found some difficulties, like for example, talking about the different stakeholders that we teachers have to deal with. It's not only the parents or the students, but even at times, even our own managements, principals, admins is also a very difficult part. I think it's the values that the school is trying to engage the students and the teachers with, obviously, is something that we are trying to transmit. But I don't feel like every time we are supported by our management and our parents. Of course, they want the best for the students, but it's also very challenging to teach the students when what they do is basically being a copycat of what the parents do. The parents want the best for the kids, but at times what they are transmitting to the kids is exactly the opposite. So they are expecting for the teachers to do some kind of special magic and make their own sons and daughters become like exemplary kids, to be perfect role models. But my question here is, how can we can we educate the parents as well, for them to work together with school, having the same goal in mind and so forth, making this task a little bit easier for the students, because at times it can be very, very challenging to deal with both parents and the students. Thank you.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I think if I can respond, I think
go ahead.
The truth is, we cannot get 100% of parents to be on board all the time. I think it's probably very impossible to do that. And personally, I haven't achieved that myself, because to be honest, all parents want different things, right? And we are not a magician. We can't make every wish come true, right? So again, for me is that the idea of have a constant engagement with the parents. I think what parents appreciate most is knowing you as an educator, knowing you, your heartbeat, your values, and what you want to help the child to succeed. I think that constant sharing of your vision is really important at the end of the day, because to be honest, you only can work because you believe in what you do. You cannot be working to fulfill somebody else's belief, right? Then you always will not be happy. So that is my point. I try to forward my view to the parents of what I think is best for the children. I listen to them to hear about what they feel that I can do more in class, as well as I get some feedback from them of what I can try in class to help their child. And if you can actually engage the parents on a one-on-one basis to get to know them more as a person as well, that would be really good, right? To know their heartbeat as well. And you can more or less know like how you would want to approach the child, right? In terms of teaching them and really helping them. So it's a very difficult class, especially if you have a big class. And I do not envy any of us having to do that. But I feel that having that one-on-one engagement with the parents is very important. And you'll be surprised at the end of the school year, the parents will come to you and tell you, dear sir, dear ma'am, initially I don't really trust you, but after the whole year of having to interact with you, I really think that you have done great service to my child, and I really appreciate that. I think if you can get that at the end of the year, I think you have really achieved your goal. So don't be so hard on yourself if you know you can't do everything, but just try your best, right? Give your best, and I'm sure the parents will appreciate you, and you can achieve what you want to achieve at the end of the year. Yeah.
So there's a thing that, because in several schools, it depends on the culture. Somebody just mentioned that, and I think it depends. Sometimes parents just don't come in. They don't want to engage. But you are engaged with the parents through your little diplomats. You have ambassadors in your school who go home and see their parents every day. If they're going home happy, engaged, and asking parents difficult questions like, we talked about what the point of school was today. What do you think, Mum? What do you think that? Well, I never really thought about that, and the parents begin to see, wow, wait a minute, this school is asking difficult questions. It doesn't have to be a code like that. It could be a difficult question on I don't mean a technical question in science or maths, but it could be like did you think about this? Or look at this thing we've discovered today. Wow, isn't it interesting? So you have ambassadors that go home, so you can use them. You can reach every parent like that, as long as they listen to their kids, of course. So,
yep,
that's my bit.
Okay, thank you, Musa, and thank you, Robert, for leading this very engaging discussion. Okay, I'll hand it back to Gabriel, and he's gonna brief us more on what we can do together to bring this entire collaboration forward. Okay, back to you.
Can I just say, don't forget your homework.
Yes, don't forget your homework as well.
Yeah, I'm coming to that as well, Robert. I'm coming to that as well. Guys, it's been great meeting everybody over the last few weeks, but I think it's about time, instead of us just meeting over here, we do something else and reach out to more people. And when I say reach out to more people, it's literally reaching out to parents, the people that we talked about today. Reaching out to students, reaching out to teachers, reaching out to parents. The team and I are putting together a global project to reach out to parents of the world, because when more people talk together, that's my son, by the way, when more people talk together, when more people question, and the more we reach out to other people, they respond better. Because when you are doing this alone, they respond to you differently. But when we are 25 strong or 30 strong, we kind of are a little army right now. And then it's a powerful place to be in. And we would like to be involved in a project with you. If you want to be a part of this project, if you feel that this is something that you want to do with us, please send your details to Haishwarya, your email address, your phone number, and she will get in touch with you. And we want to get this project started within the next week, like 7 days. It won't take much of your time. It'll take you about 10 minutes a day. And that includes Robert's homework as well.